Throughout the course, you will find my current state of the project attached to different lectures. In case you're stuck or something went wrong with your project, you can then download my project and compare it to yours. To make sure this works successfully, you have to know some steps which you have to apply to be able to use this project. Let's have a look at these steps now. And for that, you can find my project attached to this lecture. It's a zip file. Make sure to download this zip file. It's this zip file right here. Once you downloaded it, make sure to unzip it with a tool of your choice. I'm using WinRAR here, for example. So just double click it then. And in this zip file, you can now find the PBIX file, so the current Power BI project file, and the source folder. In this folder, you can find all the relevant source files for this specific project state. In this case, we have a GDP data CSV file because this is actually our initial project from the last module, but now linked to a local ACSV file, no longer linked to the web therefore. Make sure to select this folder and the corresponding Power BI project file and, well, drag and drop it to a folder of your choice. Now, you can open this PBIX file. And at first sight, everything looks all right. You can see the map that we created, no errors right here. But if you now click onto this refresh button up here, which will reload the entire data model, you see we have a problem because we could not find the file because this path right here is no longer valid. In this case, it points to a wrong folder. In your case, it would point to a folder on my machine, which obviously is not available on your computer. What you have to do with each of the downloadable project files, therefore, is you first have to close this window. Now you go to transform data and click it in the lower part. And now you go to data source settings, this option here. In these data source settings, you can find the current data sources in this Power BI file. And as you can see, we currently are using this path right here, pointing towards this gdpdata.csv file. But apparently this path is wrong. Now, click on to change source. There you can again find the path and also some settings related to the way you open this file, but you can leave the defaults here. Now go to browse and now go to the source folder you just unzipped. Double click it, and in this folder, you can find this gdpdata.csv file. Press open and OK, and then close this pop-up. Now you see that we have some pending changes in our queries. This means we connected Power BI Desktop to the source file, and now we have to load this data from the query editor into our data model. And by clicking apply changes here, this will, well, apply these changes and reload. And as you can see now, we don't have any more problems. Even if you press refresh once again, the refresh works successfully and the file is correctly connected to our source file. Now make sure to save this updated path by clicking onto, well, save right here. And with that, you're ready to go. This is how you can use the attached project files. With that, we successfully connected Power BI Desktop to our source file. One important note at this point too, if you switch to the data view, this is typically empty. You can simply change that by selecting one of the columns here in the right part of this fields. So in case this is hidden, you can click onto this arrow and then, for example, select the country column. With that, the data will be reloaded and you can see the content of our file. Talking about the report view and this data view right here, we already saw that we have this query editor, we have the data model with the report view and the data view and this third option down here. So before we dive deeper into this whole interface here, I think it's important how Power BI Desktop actually works. What does the Power BI Desktop workflow look like?